but it's not about the money, it's about the message. Okay, so we need to talk about something, and I need to talk about something that has been happening over the past few weeks on YouTube that's not okay. So, basically, a little over a week ago, I got an email from YouTube saying that 2 of my videos were demonetized because they are not advertiser friendly. And these 2 videos were about binge eating and food addiction. And what advertiser friendly means, just basically, from my understanding, means that the advertisers that use YouTube as a platform don't like the topic that's being talked about or discussed or that the video is based upon. Mine being food addiction and binge eating, which makes sense. But this goes a lot farther than just my videos. I've heard from multiple different creators that the same thing has happened to their videos about binge eating. So it seems that they're just targeting videos that are about binge eating. What it's about is it's about these big companies that use YouTube as an advertising platform thinking that it's okay for them to control the ad revenue and the money that could potentially be made on a video, and trying to silence the voice of people talking about addiction and talking about food addiction. And it makes sense, to be totally honest, because a lot of the companies that advertise on YouTube are food companies, primarily fast food companies. I know myself, I have seen pizza adverts in front of my videos, which I find to be extremely ironic. I think it's so irresponsible, not just advertisers, not just YouTube, not just the government, but everybody that controls these advertisements and that puts these out there, to be advertising videos, to be advertising content to young kids about foods and trying to sell them foods that could kill them. That's not okay. And so in a sense, no, my videos are not advertiser friendly because I don't want people to eat bad food. I don't want people to eat food that will kill them. I don't want people to eat food that will make them end up where I was. And I don't find myself getting so fired up and so emotional about a lot of things, but this really upsets me. It's not like we're spreading hatred or anything. We're trying to spread the message of health, not only physical health, but mental health. I don't even know how to really vocalize what I'm trying to say. This isn't okay. And it lends to a bigger picture that I don't think is going to be solved here and now. I hope it will be solved at some point in the future. Marketing unhealthy foods to kids. Binge eating is a real thing. Food addiction is a real thing. For these advertisers to be able to control creators' ad revenue and potential income about, and I mean, I get it, because no, if I were in their place in Pizza Hut or McDonald's or whatever other fast food companies advertise on YouTube, if I was in their place, no, I would not want my ad to be played in front of a video talking about food addiction and binge eating and talking about not eating those foods, because when you binge, at least when I binge, I go to those foods. I go to those greasy, fat-filled, really bad foods. And I'm guessing a lot of those big companies' income comes from binge eaters. And so I get that they don't want their ads played in front of a video about that, about not eating their food. But that being said, I didn't mention them. I didn't mention any company in my videos. And I don't think many of the other creators that got their videos demonetized did either. And that's what really upsets me, is advertising is tailored to each person, which is a little bit creepy, but it's the truth. Like, I tend to get a lot of advertising about WordPress plugins because of my blog and because of the Google searching I do about different themes and stuff. So I see a lot of advertisements from companies who work with WordPress plugins. Each person's advertising that they receive on YouTube videos is different. So to completely bar a video from receiving any ad revenue is a little bit frustrating. And like I said, it's not completely about the money. Of course, I would love to be able to make a living on YouTube. Creating and sharing my message and creating videos is something I want to do for a living, and if I would be able to do that on YouTube, that would be amazing. But it's not about the money, it's about the message. I don't know if it's coming from the actual companies or from YouTube itself, but whoever it's coming from, it's not okay. And things need to change. And this is what irritates me so much, is that binge eating and food addiction is such a taboo topic, yet so many people struggle with it and so many people suffer with it. And it's okay if you do. You're not some recluse that needs to be hidden away. Talk about it. Like, if you talk about it, it will become more normalized to talk about, and then resources for beating that addiction and for overcoming it and for learning how to live with binge eating disorder will start to pop up. But until we talk about it, nothing is gonna happen. And this whole move of YouTube demonetizing a lot of creators' videos seems just like a push to silence it, or just to discourage us from talking about this very real thing that a lot of people suffer with. But guess what? I'm not going to stop talking about it, and I have a feeling all the creators whose videos got demonetized are not going to stop talking about it. I don't think this scared anyone away. I just want to encourage every single one of you, because I know so many of you have struggled and still struggle like me. I still struggle every single day with binge eating and food addiction. Just talk about it. Like, it doesn't have to be on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on something. I really want to see the day when people cannot have shame for talking about binge eating. Because the only way I've been successful at stopping a binge is by talking about it. And so I encourage every single one of you to talk about it, because that's the only way we're going to make it a subject that's worth talking about, and that's worth public resources and addiction treatment, because food isn't like other addictions, and I have been around so many different addictions in my life. You can't quit food cold turkey. It's really difficult. You literally need the thing you're addicted to live. So finding that balance is insanely hard, and I know even I myself could probably benefit from services tailored to food addiction. But when you see those ads on TV, it's about alcohol, it's about drugs, and I think that's amazing. But I also think that food addiction needs to be included in that bracket, and it's not, because these big corporate companies have so much reach and so much control over everything, and that needs to change, and that's not okay. And those big companies don't realize that they play a part in a lot of people's lives and in a lot of people's health. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared about the feedback I may get from this video, because this is controversial and I'm fired up a little bit right now and I'm upset about this. But that being said, I think it's good. Whatever comes from this video is good, because this needs to be talked about. And like I said, I encourage all of you guys to talk about this more. So that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm upset, and I'm fired up about this, because this is what matters to me. And talking about food addiction and binge eating, it matters to me a lot. And it upsets me when these big companies think that they can silence or control or whatever creators who have the courage to talk about it. And I can tell them one thing: you're not going to silence me. I'm going to keep talking about it. I don't care about the money. I know this probably has been a little bit different. This side of me does not come out often. I think this is really important, and this is something I'm willing to speak up about, and I'm willing to get whatever feedback I get from this. It would be really helpful to all of you guys still watching if you would share this video, or like it, or comment on it, or something, or just share your own experiences with binge eating. It really would mean a lot to me if you shared this, because I think this message needs to be spread and needs to be shared, because binge eating should not be something that people are ashamed about, and binge eating should not be a taboo topic. And if you are out there struggling with a food addiction, binge eating, whatever it is, eating disorder, talk about it, because that is the only way things are going to change, is if it's talked about. And I want you to know that if you are struggling with binge eating, I know where you are and I know how you feel. And if you need someone to talk to me and talk to the incredible people down below in the comment section, because I can guarantee you will find a place of support if you reach out. And I know it is scary because I've been in your place, but talk about it, because once you talk about it, things will start to change. So that is it for right now, guys. I'm gonna go, but I will see you guys in 2 days for my weigh-in. So stay tuned. I love you guys. Remember, the only way to predict your future is to go out there and create it for yourself.